Hey, it's Matt, your average gamer. For this video, we've got something totally random for you guys. This is going to be the top 9 samurai builds I came up with. A lot of requests lately for different samurai builds, including great builds for the Nagakiba. I've actually ranked these from the worst to the best katana builds and samurai builds. This is going to be an awesome one. And these will give you a lot of power, and they've also got the best builds for the Nagakiba in here, as well as some builds for the Great Katana. Other katanas as well, of course, are going to make appearances in this video. Different and random armor sets I used throughout the video as well to kind of make samurai builds. We're going to start here with a poison Nagakiba build, a really cool one that can do a lot of poison damage, a lot of poison buildup, and makes good use of the Nagakiba's reach and light attacks as well. So this one does do a lot of poison buildup, of course. You want to use Poisonous Mist, the Ash of War, to coat your armament, give you more poison buildup, and then use light attacks as well as charge attacks to get some piercing damage on the charged hits as well. Pretty cool overall build for the Nagakiba. If you like the Nagakiba and you want to try something poison related, this is definitely going to be good. But of course, since these are ranked from worst to best, poison's going to be on the lower end. It does do decent damage, so it is a fun build. Let's jump into equipment for this one. We have the Poison Nagakiba plus 25 preferably with Poisonous Mist, Dragon Communion Seal. You can check out our armor set here. Did a kind of random armor set for each one. Hit 51 poise for everyone. Lord of Blood's Exaltation, Kindred of Rot's Exaltation, Melissa's Prosthesis, Wingsword Insignia, or Rotten Wingsword Insignia is better if you have it. We have the Thorny tier, the Bloodsucking Crack tier. Of course, you could use the Mushroom Crown, but that's not really a samurai look. 55 Vigor, 21 Mind, 26 Endurance, 40 Dexterity, 40 Arcane, 25 Faith. We have Golden Vow, Flame Grant Me Strength, Blessings Boon. And next up here, we have Rakshasa's build, one that I've covered before, but of course was going to make this list. This uses his katana, which has a really cool Ash of War. It can actually build up a lot of poise damage as well. You get a little bit of bleed build up, of course. There's a bleed proc there, and you can build up on successive hits. It's nothing incredible in terms of the damage on his weapon specifically, but it is fun to use and can be good for a lot of the bosses in the game. If you can keep it going, Weak Cut or Ash of War, it can really build up some serious damage, as his Katana has about 650 to 700 AR if you have the right stats for it, so that's pretty great overall. Let's jump into equipment. We have Rakshasa's Great Katana plus 10 preferably. We have the Dragon Communion Seal. We have the entire Rakshasa set on, of course. Shard of Alexander, Melissa's Prosthesis, Wingsword Insignia or Rotten Wingsword Insignia is better if you have it. Lord of Blood's Exaltation. We have the Thorny tier, Bloodsucking Crack tier. You could use the White Mask for any of these bleed builds. I didn't do it though because I was looking more for a samurai type look. 60 Vigor, 22 Mind, 20 Endurance, 65 Dexterity, 25 Faith, 10 Arcane, Golden Vow, Flame Grant Me Strength, and Blessings Moon. And next up here, we have the Dragon Hunter build. This is the Dragon Hunter Katana, another cool samurai type build you can run with the Dragon Hunter's Katana. Of course, a big katana with a lot of damage. The Ash of War is really good, of course, against dragons. That's what it's meant for. It is chargeable, though. It does a lot of damage and has good range. And then your light attacks, your charge attacks are pretty good with this weapon overall because it also gets around like 650 or so AR. The AR on this is pretty good. Let's jump into equipment and stats for this one. Keep in mind, you can always slow this down on the YouTube side. We have the Dragon Hunter's Katana plus 10 preferably, Dragon Communion Seal plus 10. You can check out our armor set here. We hit 48 poise for this one. I should have hit 50. Shard of Alexander, Godfrey Icon, Melissa's Prosthesis, Two-Handed Sword Talisman, and then we have the Faith tier, Bloodsucking Crack tier. You can hit 51 poise for this one. I think that was just a mistake when I was creating the armor set. 60 Vigor, 20 Mind, 25 Endurance, 35 Strength, 60 Dexterity, 25 Faith, 10 Arcane. We're using Golden Vow, Flame Grant Me Strength, and Blessings Boon. Next one up here is going to be a Holy Samurai build and one of my favorite ones on the list, and that's going to be using Sacred Blade on the Great Katana, giving you nearly 900 AR in total, a lot of damage, and then you could use something like Multi-Layered Ring of Light to actually be a caster as well. It's pretty cool to add that to a samurai build. Ultimately, this is definitely one of my favorite ones. Of course, anything faith related, you guys know me by now, I absolutely love. And there's just one more faith one on this one. I believe that's going to be the next one on the list. Really cool to run this though, and I think you'll have a lot of fun, especially in the DLC with this build. If you're wondering why I did the samurai builds, is because I get requests for these all the time, like constantly for the katana builds, as well as the best Nagakiba builds, Rivers of Blood, Moonveil, all the time, and I wanted to put them in the same place, so I decided to put this list together for the samurai builds, and hopefully you guys enjoy this. This is something that you'll like. I know this is one specifically isn't going to be for everybody because it's based off of samurai builds and katana builds, but there's a lot of variety and a lot of fun to be had here for sure. Let's jump into equipment. We have the Sacred Great Katana plus 25 with Sacred Blade. We have the Erdtree Seal. You can check out our armor set here. It's a pretty cool one for this one. Of course, you could slow that down on YouTube side. Shard of Alexander, Godfrey Icon. We have the Sacred Scorpion Charm. We have Phlox Canvas Talisman because we're mixing in incantations as well. We have the Holy Tier, the Bloodsucking Cracked Tier to give us a good amount of damage. Of course, we're doing a lot of holy damage. 60 Vigor, 22 Mind, 27 Endurance, 14 Strength, 18 Dexterity, 70 Faith. We are using Golden Vow, Halash Shabiri, Blessing's Boon, and Multi-Layered Ring of Light. And next up here is the Fire one. This is, of course, also faith-based. We're going to be using Flame Spear on the Great Katana, so there's 2 builds for the Great Katana. And then you could use something like Black Flame, Catch Flame. I even threw Knight's Lightning Spear in here just for fun, because with faith you could do a lot. There's a lot of versatility that you could have in a build like this one, especially if you're using something like the Godslayer Seal. It's going to give you around 300 scaling. Erdtree Seal is great for pretty much everything else, unless you're boosting something specific, which is why we're using the Godslayer Seal here to boost Black Flame. Really cool getting the percentage damage off this and being able to use something as kind of like a little bit of a buffer to the build itself, because Flame Spear is great, but if you get back a little far and you want some percentage of fire damage, you could switch to Black Flame then. It really gives you a lot of versatility. Much like the last build, there's a ton of versatility here in terms of what you can do, because once again, it's faith-based. Some of my favorite builds overall for the Katana builds even are faith-based. These 2 specifically, the Holy one and the Fire one, are probably my 2 favorite ones on the list. Not the most powerful because they're not bleed-based, but probably the most fun that you'll possibly have with any of these. And you could run these with something like the Nagakiba if you have the base game as well. Something like Flaming Strike would work as well, give you the extra buff and the extra fire damage bonus. Let's jump into equipment. We have the Flame Art Great Katana plus 25 with Flame Spear. We have the Godslayer Seal. You can check out our armor set here. It's a mix of the Lands of Reed armor and Radahn's chest piece, Shard of Alexander, Godfrey Icon. We have the Fire Scorpion Charm. We have the Phlox Canvas Talisman as well. We had 52 poise, by the way. We have the Flame Tier, Bloodsucking Cracked Tier. Let's jump into stats. And we have 60 Vigor, 22 Mind, 27 Endurance, 14 Strength, 18 Dexterity. Same stats as the last build, 70 Faith, Golden Vow, Halash Shabiri, Blessing's Boon, Black Flame, Catch Flame, and Knight's Lightning Spear. And the next one up here is going to be Sword Dance. Now, this one's a little bit behind Double Slash for me. I know some people like Sword Dance more than Double Slash. Other people prefer Double Slash. I'm one of the people that prefers Double Slash because if you're able to get through the entire thing, you'll get more bleed buildup. But Sword Dance is really good too. Goes really well with the Nagakiba. Now, if you're wondering why the starting katana did not appear in this video, I prefer the Nagakiba's reach over it. It does have better stats overall, but the Nagakiba's reach for me makes up for that. So any of these builds, of course, you could change with the starting katana, the Uchi Katana. But for me, I'm going to stick with the Nagakiba because I like that extra reach that it has, and I think it's a really cool looking weapon. We have the heavy Nagakiba plus 25 preferably. We are using Blood Flame Blade with that. We have the Dragon Communion Seal. Check out the armor set there. Shard of Alexander, Millicent's Prosthesis. Wingsword Insignia, again, if you have New Game Plus or beyond, Rotten Wingsword Insignia. Lord of Blood's Exaltation, Thorny Tier, Bloodsucking Cracked Tier. We're using Margaret Shackle to stun the boss there. Let's talk about stats. Any of these bleed builds you can add the White Mask to. I just didn't want to for the purpose of looks. 60 Vigor, 22 Mind, 26 Endurance, 60 Strength, 22 Dexterity, 25 Faith, Golden Vow, Flame Grip and Strength, Blessing Spoon, Blood Flame Blade. Next up, of course, we have a build for the Rivers of Blood. Now, I've done builds for the Rivers of Blood before, of course, but I wanted to make sure I included it in here for the people that like the Rivers of Blood, and so they have it in one place where they can go to the Samurai builds and find a good build for the Rivers of Blood. Of course, once again, you could add the White Mask to any of these that have bleed build up for extra damage. It just didn't fit the style. Rivers of Blood plus 10. Preferably, we have the Dragon Communion Seal plus 10. We have part of the Scaled Armor and the Lands of Reed Helm. We have the Shard of Alexander, Lord of Blood's Exaltation, Millicent's Prosthesis. Wingsword Insignia or Rotten Wingsword Insignia is better if you have it. Thorny Tier, Bloodsucking Cracked Tier. We're using Sleeping Pots there to stun the Godskin Apostle. Let's jump into stats. 60 Vigor, 22 Mind, 26 Endurance, 12 Strength, 30 Dexterity, 25 Faith, 50 Arcane. We are using Golden Vow, Flame Grip and Strength, Blessing's Boon. If you're wondering why I'm using Wingsword Insignia, I think I might have mentioned this already. It's so that you can run these on base new game as well. Next up, we have a Moonveil Battle Samurai build. This will allow you to use Moonveil while also casting spells. So you have a lot of variety here. I use Glintstone Ice Crag and Zamar Ice Storm. I felt like they fit the build well. Give you a lot of frost build up and whatnot as well. First things first, we're going to show off Moonveil, then we'll cast a little bit. Overall, the damage is going to be quite good. We're focusing more on the beam here with higher intelligence and only a little bit of dexterity, but we still get great damage ultimately. If you hold it down and you're using Rolana's cameo, you can get a ton of damage from Moonveil itself. The Ash of War, ever since the DLC, is better than ever when you hold it. You can see the damage there. He was basically 3 hits with the Ash. Not bad at all. This is New Game +3, Journey 4. Alright, let's cast some spells, see how we do here. Glintstone Icecrag, we're going to get a decent amount of frost build up there. Not enough to proc on him. He's fairly resistant though, so no surprise there. So we're going to have to use some more Ice Storm just to see if we can get that extra frost proc there. Overall though, the damage on your spells, it's not going to be bad at all. Glintstone Icecrag doesn't do a ton of damage. It's more for frost build up than anything else, but we do use some more Ice Storm here. We end up getting a frost proc there and a fairly good amount of damage at around 3,300, and then we finish him off with Moonveil. Really cool combination build. Another favorite one on this list that I recommend running and checking out. This is definitely one you're going to have a lot of fun with if you like Moonveil. Let's jump into equipment. We have Moonveil +10 preferably. We have Lucette's Glintstone Staff +10. We have any seal for buffs. You can check out our armor set here. We hit 58 poise for this build, so pretty good there. Shard of Alexander, Millicent's Prosthesis. We have the Magic Scorpion Charm. We have Rolana's cameo, of course, for holding the Ash of War down. Magic tier, Bloodsucking Crack tier. Let's jump into stats. And for stats, we have 55 Vigor, 22 Mind, 26 Endurance, 25 Dexterity, 60 Intelligence. We have 25 Faith. We are using Golden Vow, Flame Grant Me Strength, Blessings Boon, Glintstone Icecrag, Terra Magica, and Zamar Ice Storm. And now we've got a build for Double Slash, one of my favorite ones in terms of damage. Not the most fun one on here, but does a lot of damage. Really impressed with this one overall. It makes the #1 spot for me because of the fact that you can get a good amount of bleed build up and damage. Of course, it takes a little bit of skill to use against Rolana here on Journey 4 with DLC Plus. She's a little bit difficult, but you can see the bleed proc there. We're able to stack 10,000 damage, not bad at all. And ultimately, we're going to end up taking her down. She took me around 4 tries in total, so nothing too bad there. Love the Nagakiba's reach. Feels like it really excels with Double Slash because of the extra reach. Of course, again, the starting Katana does do a little bit more damage, has better scaling, but not by that much. Not really worth the trade-off on reach. This feels like the old Rivers of Blood to me in terms of reach. You get a lot of reach from it, a lot of physical damage, and a good amount of bleed build up. Of course, there's the delay and then the bleed proc. That can happen with Blood Flame Blade. It has a little bit of a delay on it sometimes. It's actually pretty cool. We did get the blood proc there, backed off, and then I probably should have used Blood Flame Blade again here. I end up regretting this a little bit going in for regular hits, because of course I don't have the same amount of bleed build up. I was thinking maybe I could get one bleed proc and end it there. I was being a little bit greedy. I was going in for the finisher there, but it didn't end up working out, so it is what it is. I should have backed off and used Blood Flame Blade, and of course then at the end I'm just going to go in for jump attacks, regular hits, all that stuff. Now if you're in heavy affinity, you're two-handing this, you're actually going to get really good damage because of the 1.5 times strength bonus, meaning that if we have around 60 strength or so, that'll be 90 when you two-hand it. It does not work for Ashes of War, but any regular hits, jump attacks, all that stuff, it's going to work for. So heavy affinity is going to be excellent for the Nagakiba here. Let's jump into equipment stats, everything you need to know. Heavy Nagakiba +25 preferably. We have it with Double Slash, Dragon Community Seal. You can check out the armor set here. Once again, you can slow that down on YouTube side if you want to see that armor set. Shard of Alexander, Millicent's Prosthesis, Wingsword Insignia, or Rotten Wingsword Insignia is better if you have it. Lord of Blood's Exaltation, Thorny tier, Bloodsucking Crack tier. Once again, the white mask will increase the damage again. I just don't feel like it fits the look. 60 Vigor, 22 Mind, 26 Endurance, 60 Strength, 22 Dexterity, 25 Faith, 10 Arcane. We are using Golden Vow, Flame Grant Me Strength, Blessings Boon, and of course Blood Flame Blade as well for bleed buildup. Thanks for watching this one. Thanks for tuning into my top 9 awesome samurai builds that include some of the best builds for the Nagakiba, Great Katana, all that fun stuff in Elden Ring. It's really been fun making these videos lately. A lot of people ask me for different samurai builds, Nagakiba builds. I figured I'd put it together in one list video. That way you can just go to my channel and then click on this one if you're looking for any katana builds. These are my favorite katana builds, and of course I rank them from 9 to 1 as well. If you want to see more videos like this one, be sure to sub and let me know in the comments. Catch you in the next video.